think? No, I think houses get a bad rep in movies these days. They're always haunted. I wish those realtors just came out with the truth when showing the house. I think that would clear up a lot of the confusion about the house in the first place. Yeah, so this is the kitchen. This is where the husband killed his wife. And look at this granite. Oh my God. There's a new news. This closet where a giant rubber monster will come out and claw you a little. Thanks God my house isn't like that. Or so I think.
Thanks, Jerry. I'll take it from here. There's a haunted house film called House, and it's not that Japanese house that's based off of a child's nightmare. No, this one is a lot more derivative. It came out in 1985 and stars these people I've never heard of in my life. Except, wait a second. Is that who I think it is? Newman? From Seinfeld? Wait, no. No, Newman has glasses. I know. It's that one fat guy from Modern Family. No, the other one. No, the other one. I don't think that's from Modern Family. Jeff Garlin? No, that's not it either. Who am I kidding? I have no idea who that is.
I'll cheers to that brother.
Aha! Thanks, Jerry. I knew I'd keep you around for some reason. House is a film that came out in 1986, starring William Katt, Ted Danson, Kay Lenz, and Richard Mall. It was directed by the same director as everyone's least favorite horror sequels, and also Texas Rangers, which has a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes and stars Ashton Kutcher and Usher. Interesting, that might be worth a watch. It's written by this guy, whose credits are also just as fucking insane. He wrote this film and its sequel, and a bunch of other movies that no one has ever heard of. He did puppeteer work on Gremlins and Return of the Jedi. And he also composed 2 songs for Jason X. What? This man is not real. How can he do so many different things? Back to House. Riding off the coattails of its successor, another haunted house film that features flying utensils, House made a shit ton of money. Wow. Look at that money. In today's money, that's even more money. It made so much money that it actually spawned 3, count 'em, 3 sequels. And I will never watch any of them. House starts with this nice young man as he's delivering groceries to this old woman. Guess where? In a house. He can't seem to find her, so he sets them down on the table and is about to leave, but he hears some noise from upstairs.
Sick.
He goes into a room, and what he sees is her practicing step aerobics. He runs out, and the film begins. This jump scare, I gotta say, it genuinely did get me the first time I watched this. Just the way she was swaying back and forth, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a pussy, it's whatever. Anyway, we meet our protagonist, a famous horror author. I've never heard that before. He's going through writer's block, trying to write about his Vietnam War stories. The writer's block is very tough on him, especially since his son went missing and was never found, and he and his wife got separated due to that fact. So he decides in order to clear his mind, he's going to move back to the house where his son disappeared. To each his own, I guess. This is where Ted Danson comes into play. He seems like a fun neighbor type. So Roger Cobb begins to write his war stories, but while writing, he gets some strange dreams of this Patrick Warburton impersonator in the jungle. And yes, this is the real jungle. Please don't look too close. Then some freaky things start to happen. Mainly, he opens up the closet to see a giant fucking whatever this thing is come out and scratch him. It's very reminiscent of the Hellraiser monster at the end of that movie. Both look awful, and technically this came out first, so suck it, Hellraiser. This leads to Roger trying to prove to Ted Danson that this monster is real. Ted just thinks he's crazy. Other shit starts happening. A marlin on the wall starts acting up. Annoying. I hate when they do that. Garden tools start to float very slowly towards him. He just traps them in a bathroom, and they just kind of like vibe in there. You know, if only there was a tool for opening doors, they'd be set. But, you know. During this crisis of monsters and floaty shit, his wife suddenly comes back to him. But wait a second. He wasn't dating a rejected Chuck E. Cheese mascot. Oh. This will certainly lead to more hijinks. He straight up murders her with a fucking shotgun, but it turns out, it was actually his wife. Womp womp. In perfect time, too, because here are the cops. This scene goes on for what seems like forever, and it almost goes to shit when Ted Danson decides to be a snitch and just show the cops used shotgun shells, but, you know, I knew I never liked Cheers. Anyway, cops don't really give a shit, neither does Ted Danson, and they all just leave. Little do they know that Grimace now has a shotgun. Turns out it wasn't actually his wife, it can just, change form into his wife for some reason, and it never does that ever again. He fucks the pot of greed up again, this time making sure that the job is done. Yeah! He goes to his backyard to bury the corpse of a demon in broad daylight. and comes across his disgustingly hot neighbor just chilling in his pool. Just relaxing in not her property. She mentions that she has a kid, and he's like, yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get back to burying this fucking body now. She walks away, and as she's literally like 3 steps away, he smacks the demon as hard as he can with the shovel, and she doesn't even notice. She doesn't even turn around. Not concerning at all. He also says that what's in the bag is a giant sapling that he's going to plant. Like, what kind of sapling is that big? That's a full-grown tree you have right there. I think that's cheating in the gardening business. He chops the purple lady up into a bunch of pieces and buries them all over the yard. You know, like a sane person. Golden Retriever don't play no shit though, to be honest, and it steals the hand. Oh well, whatever. It's just the hand of a demon out in the world. Who cares? Cut to later on. The neighbor drops by with her kid and says, hey, I know you just moved in here, and we've only met once, and you were clearly burying a body in a large bag, but here's my child and his belongings. Please look after him for me tonight. And he's like, sure, I guess. The kid has the demon's hand on his back, so the man pulls this brilliant move of yelling at the mother and then taking the kid into the bathroom to get the hand off. He then explains that he just had to go to the bathroom, and like, bro, you just met this kid 2 seconds ago. Would he or the mother be okay with you helping him to go to the bathroom immediately? Last time a stranger helped me go to the bathroom, he went to jail. We miss you, Uncle Frank. Anyways, more kid antics ensue, and he eventually gets taken into a different room by these straight-up Ghoulies ripoffs. What the fuck? They try to take him up the chimney, but thank God Roger is there to pull the kid down as hard as he can. The kid's fine, the mom comes home and picks him up. Roger develops a plan in order to try and kill the main closet demon from earlier. He entrusts the one and only Ted Danson to help out. Although he is very skeptical, he agrees. The clock strikes midnight, and the door is opened. And look who it is! It's Kramer. Just kidding. Keeping that Seinfeld thing going, though, you know? You like that? I don't know. It's the demon thingy! Newman freaks the fuck out and doesn't shoot immediately, which is like fair, you know. I'd be freaked out too. This leads to Roger getting caught in the line of the harpoon gun and being dragged out of the house by the monster. It drags him into what seems to be a parallel universe set in Roger's own Vietnam flashbacks. He sees another version of this guy named Big Ben. The two were sent alone to lead a mission and report back what they find. Big Ben is a fucking idiot and gets shot like a bunch, and while he's grasping for his last breath, he asks Roger, "Please, Roger, kill me." And Roger pussies out, so Big Ben is taken prisoner by the Viet Cong. Roger then takes the random Narnia door home and begins to put some pieces of the puzzle together. After he consoles the Cheers man, he weirdly decides to take a closer look at this painting. He sees that a bathroom mirror, which was actually foreshadowed multiple times throughout this film, has his son in it. He rushes to the bathroom, breaks the mirror, it opens up into a giant void, which is kind of like a really cool concept. He rappels down with his Vietnam training, but is attacked by these devil bat thingies, which actually do look pretty fucking cool. He gets down to the floor, and he hears his son calling for him. They reunite. Oh, how nice, very nice. And uh-oh. What is that? Final boss music? Bum bum bum. A zombified Big Ben, who can't move his mouth very well, is pissed at Roger. He's pissed at Roger because he got tortured for weeks on end after he was captured by the Viet Cong, which is a very dark twist, I gotta say. Roger begins to run with the child in hand. They go diving into the swimming pool, also set up earlier multiple times, and get back to the real world. Oh, how nice. But what is that? Uh-oh. Final boss music. Big Ben follows them. Roger tells him to knock it off, and Big Ben is all, and frickin' doesn't do it. So Roger gets a grenade, pulls the pin like a true veteran, and blows up Big Ben. And guess where? The motherfucking house. Just then, his real ex-wife pulls up to see her son and her hubby in front of a burning house. A sight of pure joy. The end. Or is it? There were 3 fucking sequels to this, so who really knows if this is the end? And I will never find out. Did you ever watch this thing? Lord only knows why I did. It was something though, I gotta say. I was not expecting this for sure. If not for the clear rip-off of the Poltergeist concept, I think this film has some genuinely great ideas. The war veteran aspect was something that I was completely not expecting, and it really did layer in some meaning. The performances were all pretty good actually. The cinematography was pretty bad though, so it kind of cancels each other out. They didn't even try to cover up the plastic looking effects with any lighting. A lot of it was just such bland, flat lighting. It looked horrible. They just used a lot of cuts to try to hide the bad effects, which is just lazy. I don't know. Shout out to the creature design though. I mean, it certainly was different. So overall, it was an interesting movie. There's a lot of moving pieces at once here. It's worth a watch. I kinda am interested to check out the sequels to see if they're the worst things ever made, or if they're just really boring, but that's my biggest fear, is that they're just boring. But anyways, thanks for watching. That was House. Let me know what you think. I want to watch the Japanese one. That seems way cooler. So, anyways.